Welcome to Co-op Mode, round 156. This is the official video game podcast of Secret Friends Unite. I am one of your hosts, Todd Oxtra, joined by the Canadian, the man on the East Coast, who is once again avoiding all of the snow.
Yeah, cannot believe it. Other parts of the island got absolutely buried yesterday, and we got a light sprinkling. I went for a walk last night. It was delightful. I don't understand it. Someone came from like the northern part of the island today, and they were like, we had to shovel out to get to our appointment in time. Like, it was insane. It was like, as we kept driving, the snow kept going away, and like I can see grass. Like, I don't get it at all.
Minnesota's a weird place. We have no snow, but it's butt cold right now. But you know, some place that probably has snow, also butt cold. That is DaddyDWally, Daniel Walenchik, CEO of the Nerd Chat. And I guess you're my boss?
That's correct. Todd is number 1 / number 2 intern at the Nerd Chat. Thank you guys for having me. First of all, I need to say this real fast. My Denver Broncos are in the playoffs. I don't know how many football fans you have out there, but yes, it's been almost 9 years of suffering, no playoff appearances. I met my wife, got engaged, had a child, moved into her house, moved into another house, had twin daughters. This is the first time we get to cheer on our Denver Broncos in the playoffs. I believe. Let's go. And also, guys, I brought a special notebook here with some hot predictions for 2025. Hot takes. And Mark, I've got a hot take to lead the way right off the bat.
Ooh, all right.
Well,
my kids and I and my wife watched the Star Wars all 9 episodes for the first time.
Wow.
And I'm going to say it right here, right now.
Okay.
The prequels are trash, and the sequels blow them away. And it's not even close. And The Rise of Skywalker gets way too much hate because J.J. Abrams was doing his damnedest to save what happened wrong in The Last Jedi. And I had tears, and I hadn't seen it in a while. And I was like, there's some really powerful moments in this film. So I need to come talk to you about Star Wars soon because I have a lot.
Yes.
I have so many. I was texting Todd in the Nerd Chat. So many hot takes.
I loved it.
Yes.
Very good discussion.
So we have to set, like, people are listening to this live. This is how this is going to go. So I have a couple of guests lined up for the next couple of episodes where we're going to, like, finish off the Skeleton Crew. Once that show, I think there's a couple of episodes left.
I haven't
that
seen
show is going to wrap
TV
up.
Shows besides Mando.
Skeleton Crew is very good. I think
Skeleton Crew is very good, and
I can't keep
happens around the same timeline as Mando, so it kind of flows right in.
Okay.
Which is good, but not like too connected that you need to worry about it.
I
but
saw
like
that on the Disney timeline.
It's a one-off. You don't know any of the characters. You don't need to know anybody. Yeah.
But that's beside the point. After that's done, we're going to be looking for some content, and I want this to be an episode like Danny's hot takes. Okay. That's it. We're going to talk more about this and get like Dan's dish.
I'll save the hot Star Wars takes for another time.
I can't wait. I can't
love it. You don't want my.
We could do. Maybe we just do like a hot take, just a straight up hot take episode that Todd's not invited to.
Yes. No, I want to hear Todd's hot takes too.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Okay, never mind.
Mark almost had to fire me as a co-host once.
Okay,
this was bad.
I almost just made a meal, an entire 3-course meal.
I would have still been going.
Came back. Todd still would have been going, left again, made dessert, slept, had a nap, woke up. Todd's still going.
I'd still be talking about Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
Let's stop right now because let's stop. Todd, keep us going. I got it.
Here we go.
All right.
Dan, this is not your first time, but thank you for coming back.
Glad to be
We
back.
love it. We love our repeat offenders. So this is going to be a fun one. We are doing our 2025 predictions. It'll be great. Some things may happen at CES before this even comes out. We don't know, but we're going to do this beforehand.
I thought that was supposed to happen already.
Nope, it's the 7th through the 11th. So AMD had their kickoff, so they already announced some chipsets.
I was going to say, I saw a couple of things leaking out today, but aside from that, it starts.
So we'll get into that, but we basically are going to do our predictions. I retrieved our predictions from 2024, so we'll see how well those went. But before we get into everything, we got to thank our awesome Patreons, our secret friends squad, Mark.
Yes, you can join these amazing people over at patreon.com/secretfriendsunite for a free 7-day trial so you can get all the ad-free shows, the exclusive shows, the early launches, all that good stuff, and some Discord benefits. After that, you can subscribe for as little as $2 a month and join our besties tier, including Derek Trevelyan, aka the Figure Dude, Francie, the official hairstylist of 1/3 of Secret Friends Unite, the Xbox expansion pass, and Charlie's Uncle Tim, who is the biggest fan of this network that has never owned an internet device. I think that's probably safe to say. Friends with Benefits tier, we have to thank John Sedorf, Phoenix Sisters Entertainment, Brendan Myers, Corian HD, aka the Boss Rush CEO. I can't wait to see some fun stuff that Boss Rush has coming up in the pipeline. Keep an eye out for that. Matthew Keel, Kurt Krug, and Tanya Lee. We have to assign some Vigigame power-ups.
Yes. So anytime we get a new Patreon, Dan, we have to sign them a video game power-up. It can be used in real life or just in a video game. So it could be you always get an extra bonus life, you get a +1 to a sword, or maybe you can stop time so you can play more video games. So with that, we're going to give Dan a few minutes to think about that. Mm-hmm. Mark, it's all yours.
Yep. All mine. Oh, man. Okay.
She is from the South.
Yep.
She is very left-leaning. I'm trying to think what else. And she's into Star Trek. So those are the only things I think I know about her.
Okay.
I don't know if that helps.
You know what? I'm gonna dismiss most of what you just said and go with the last game I was playing, which was Pikmin 2. I'm going to allow Tanya to whistle and call animals around her that will then listen to her commands and help her out with tasks, lifting heavy objects, breaking down barriers and walls, fighting off enemies, whatever it is. She has a magic whistle that can help, just like Captain Olimar blows his whistle and all the Pikmin come around. But this works with multiple animals. She doesn't have to find just a Pikmin type animal. This just works with all the tiny little creatures that you can find down there in the South.
Very good. The ability to control vermin. I like
that. We're just making this up for a hypothetical video game.
It can be
giving her a power. Okay, Tanya said she's a Star Trek fan. What is the ability? What is it called where they phase in and out? Remind me.
Transport. The transporter.
It's transport.
It's just transporter? That's the name they
transporter.
Gave it? Yeah. Okay. She's
going to have
Scotty. The ability to have a transporter on her. Okay. Which she can use only once at any moment that will transport her back to her last safe zone or save spot.
Ooh.
Okay.
Good stuff.
I've been playing Blasphemous recently, and that's one of the powers that you can use. And I'm tying that into with the Star Trek. Really, it's just a transporter. I'm shocked.
Yeah,
I thought it had a cool
transporter. No. It's kind of like Diablo. Was it Diablo 2 where it had the portals? Like you could be in a.
All the Diablos you could basically.
You had to buy the. It was like you had to buy ones to go back to the portal in town.
Yeah.
It was kind of a get out of jail free card.
Similar to the Souls games, I believe there's one thing you can use it once and you use it and it takes you back.
I like that. I like that. Or I think
that's good.
You know what? That makes me think about this. So I'm going to give her the ability for fast travel. So in a game, just like anything in life, sometimes you don't want to drive to work.
One of the best powers out there. Let's be real, guys.
Once you've been to a place, you can fast travel. It's like marked on your map of life. So I'm like, work, click, I'm there. Just think about no commutes anymore. I don't know if it works, how it works. It's just magic. She gets fast travel.
I love that. That's great.
That's the best answer.
Yeah.
I retract
Perfect. No, I love yours too, Dan. I love
I
yours
didn't know
too.
it was a video game of life. I thought you meant you had like a game that you're setting up or something.
See, and when we talk about our podcast, so Mark bends the rules on this part. I bend the rules on buy rent return. So it kind of balances out. So always, Dan, if you ever come on the show again, always ask for clarification.
Yeah. Because sometimes it is like any game you play, you get double jump. Like it doesn't matter if double jump's a mechanic, like, like sometimes it is in a game or something. So like Pokemon, now you get a double jump. Congratulations. Other times
completely useless in Pokemon.
Other times it's like a video game power in real life. So it basically just depends on how we feel and what comes out of my mouth at the time.
Like the most useless would be like alternate costumes. So like you could change
getting dressed.
That would
your
be
shirt would be
great. Are you kidding me? That would be fantastic. As someone that wears like dress pants and like a button-up shirt to work, if I could just like snap my fingers and be just dressed like in a Mario t-shirt or a Star Wars shirt or some shit, and like comfortable pants and and shoes without having to like go home and change and worry about it, that would be a fantastic power. If anyone's looking to assign me one, that 5 days a week, I don't have to worry about like wardrobe changes. I just have one with me instantly. Oh man, that's a good one.
I almost gave her like ice powers like Mario, the ice flower, because it's hot in Texas, but we'll move on. And I guess we got one more.
One more Secret Friend Super Squad. Thank you to Sean, Stella, and Henry Nias, the incredible Nias family. This family's absolutely incredible, and we always save them the best for last. So thank you. We've got something fun coming up with Sean, but I think we have to talk about that.
Hold off until next.
We're going to hold off on that, but I do want to acknowledge that Sean's going to and Sean, Stella, and Henry are going to be doing something cool. But we'll talk about that later. They really are. So I also have to say, even if you cannot or don't feel like subscribing to us on Patreon, that is cool. That's fine. That's great. You can help the show in other ways and help the network in other ways, including subscribing on YouTube, following us on social media, joining our Discord, being part of the conversations. You'll see and hear some conversations in a little tiny bit with some comments and predictions and all that fun stuff. So all of that helps. Tell a friend. Seriously, that helps and means the world to us, just as much as tossing a couple of bucks our way over on Patreon. So again, patreon.com/secretfriendsunite, or just share the show. We love it all, and we thank you all for listening.
All right. Thank you once again, everyone. But now it's time to have a little fun. It's buy, rent, and return. Gentlemen, do you believe the year 2000 is now 25 years ago?
Whew. Dude, I was thinking about that, Todd. I was telling Allie, I'm like, can you believe it's 2025? Like, that's kind of crazy. We're a quarter of the way through this century. It was freaking me out, Todd. I'll be perfectly honest.
It's crazy. So I had looked up like what games came out in the year 2000 to kind of get a feel for what the gaming landscape was like. So this is what I came up with. I tried to like sprinkle a little bit of awesomeness across all platforms. So I came up with Perfect Dark on the N64, Metal Gear Solid on the PS1, and The Sims on PC. Can you believe The Sims have been around for 25 years and they've only had 4 releases?
Wow,
that's crazy.
Of course, Perfect Dark 2, only 2 releases so far, which is kind of crazy.
Wow.
Is it?
We'll see. We'll see how crazy it is in another couple of years, hopefully. So, actually, let's go into Brian's. Brian had a note here. It's so small, Mark. I don't know. Can you read it?
Actually, I have the Discord open anyway, right in front of me, so I can read it right there instead of in the tiny. Yeah, that thumbnail in the show notes is really small. Weird. Yeah. Anyway, going to buy The Sims, hours upon hours of casual, mind-numbing fun. Rent Metal Gear Solid. This is on my list of games everyone should play at least once. And return Perfect Dark. Kind of feels dirty to do this, but the OT. fire emoji, laughing face, 100%. In terms of, yeah, we'll get to that later. Okay. Yep. So that is that.
Okay, here we go.
Yep.
Dan,
Oh,
what's
this
it going
is
to be?
this is easy for me, guys, because I have
Okay.
fond memories. So I'll start with the bad. Return Perfect Dark. Never played it. I have no connection. I know I haven't played any of the
You
Perfect
didn't
Darks.
fire it up on, what was it, Rare
Rare
Replay?
Replay. I
Rare
know.
Replay.
No, never played it. What was that? N64 was the first one.
Yeah.
N64, yeah.
And 360. So I'm looking forward. Don't get me wrong. I can't wait for the reboot. I loved what I saw from the trailer from Xbox or from what is it called? The Initiative.
The Initiative, yeah. The quadruple A game.
Well, Initiative / Crystal Dynamics. But anyway, so Rent. Todd, it doesn't surprise me that The Sims have been around that long because I have fond memories of The Sims playing this back in 2003 when I graduated high school. My parents got me a laptop computer, and I remember driving to Michigan and Chicago for a road trip that we always would do to visit family, and just playing obsessively on The Sims. Like obsessively
on a laptop in a car.
A laptop in a car. I had it down so much where I beat it. Can't you get like married and like you have infinite money or something? I got to whatever, like I felt like I beat that game. So fond memories of the original Sims. And then easily by is Metal Gear Solid. That's a top, probably still. I don't know if it's top 5 still, but for a long time, Metal Gear Solid was one of the greatest games ever made in my eyes. Still holds up. Well, I don't know if it holds up, but it's still my favorite Metal Gear Solid game. When I played that back in 98 or whatever it was on the PS1, that was the first time where I was like, wow, video games can be something truly incredible and cinematic, and the story with the gameplay. I had never played anything like Metal Gear Solid back then. So to me, Metal Gear is easy buy for me. So yeah, those are my picks.
I'm going to ask a quick question about Metal Gear Solid. So Konami is remaking 3, which is Snake Eater. They're calling it Delta.
Which doesn't need a remake at all. Why didn't they?
Chronologically, that is the first game. Do you think they're going to go the Konami, the Capcom route and remake all of the Metal Gear games?
I hope so, Todd. Because
like in chronological order, you're thinking?
Yes.
Yeah, because it would be that. Would it be then? I don't know. Would you count like the NES
Metal
game?
Gear or something? Yeah, the NES game. They probably want to do that. I hope so, Todd, because of any of the Metal Gear games needs a remake, or it's, well, I guess they did it on the GameCube, but I would even take the GameCube version, to be perfectly honest.
Twin Snakes, that was MGS1 or that was MGS2?
MGS1.
Okay.
Twin Snakes was MGS1, and I loved it. I remember being blown away. I was one of the few who had a GameCube right away and was playing that bad boy all the time. But yeah, I think that would be a fantastic idea. If any of the games, like I said, MGS, Metal Gear Solid 1 needs the remake. I would hope for that, Todd. That would be incredible.
Very nice picks. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, Mark. What do you got?
Kind of in a similar vein to Dan. I'm going to play into some nostalgia on this one. So I'm going to buy Perfect Dark because that's the one that I played. I was an N64 kid, did not own a PlayStation. I didn't play Metal Gear Solid until Twin Snakes. So my recollection, my memory of it is a little bit newer. So that's, more of a GameCube memory. Respect it. So that's going to be my Rent. I am not great at stealth games, but I respect the cinematography of it. Like you said, Dan, it shows what games can do with storytelling. It's one of those like cinematic action games. The story can be crazy, but I also love that they just went all out with that craziness of reading your memory card and doing like weird stuff that they didn't have to go that hard for a game that was already crazy and had a great story and did all this kind of stuff. But then they went and just like hacked the systems that it was on and did really weird shit that just kind of had you scratching your own head and wondering what was going on. So I love it for that, but it's going to be a Rent for me just because of the Perfect Dark plays into my love of GoldenEye, my love of spy stuff as a genre. I absolutely love the James Bond series. I love any kind of like spy movie or book. I've read a bunch of the James Bond books, other kind of books in that genre as well. Like my grandfather was always into those and would lend me them. So like Perfect Dark, mixing that with Aliens, like I'm all in, baby. Let's go. Following up GoldenEye 007 on the N64. Back then, Rare could poop in a bucket and it would sell 10 million copies. So yeah, that, the game was solid. It was even fun to go back to, although it doesn't hold up as much unless you have that nostalgia for N64. Like, don't go back and play it if you have no nostalgia for it whatsoever, or unless you can appreciate, like, put yourself in that N64 mindset, but like, don't go back as like a modern gamer trying to compare it to anything modern, because just like GoldenEye 007, it's just going to disappoint you. But the Sims, I kind of missed. My sister got really into the Sims.
Everybody got into the Sims, I think.
Yeah. So I remember dabbling a little bit into that franchise, but never like fully being engrossed in it. And maybe it was because my sister at the time was so crazy about it, and she's like younger than me. And I was just like, oh, maybe that's a kind of a kid's game. I'm going to go play something more serious. But like The Sims has been around obviously for 20 years or 25 years. And I liked like Sim City and those kind of like sim games before this. So like I had the history with the series leading up to The Sims, but didn't grab me as much as the other two. But I still have a respect for The Sims and what they do. And every time I see like a new package, especially like the Star Wars package that came out for The Sims, I'm like, that's a game that I think I could probably put 4,000 hours in, that maybe I don't want to get addicted to because it'll take over my life and all of my gaming habits. And my talks on this show will be very boring because every single week for a year and a half, I'll be like, Todd will be playing all these games and I'll be like, I played The Sims. All right. 40 more hours, baby. Let's go.
Did you could abandon someone in a pool and take out the ladder and make them die?
Yes. Yes, I did. I know the memes. I know the stuff, yes. But it's going to be a return for me compared to these other two. So that's going to be my picks. I think I'm happy with those. Todd, how are you feeling?
I feel bad because I did not play much Perfect Dark Zero. I played Zero Sims, but I did see my son play The Sims and he really got into it. So I'm like, and it was like Sims 4. I think it's on the EA Play part. I think there's
Probably.
A Sims version there, I think, that you can play if you have Game Pass. Don't know, maybe. But you know what? I really appreciate it. And quite honestly, Mark, this game really reached out to a broad audience, which I appreciate quite a bit. So I'm going to return this, but because I know other people love this game. And Mark, this kind of predated Animal Crossing. And quite honestly, this is predating like Facebook games. So in a lot of ways, because at first Animal Crossing came out in 2001.
Is that the Japan? States or Japan? Really?
In Japan,
2001. 2001.
So
wow, yeah.
Pretty much predated like the whole
it really did.
Cozy game,
wow.
Just living life, decorating, building houses, things like that. So, and Will Wright was known for that. So, it's amazing. So I will give them the credit. It's funny. It's still not on the Switch, which is so funny.
Yeah.
Dude, I had no idea. That is insane.
Yeah,
wow.
EA's bad.
Why wouldn't they put that on the Switch? It's got to be
dumb,
maybe
man.
the online stuff, maybe. You're right, Todd. I just checked. There is The Sims for EA Play that you can play on Game Pass. Yeah,
that's awesome. All right, Perfect Dark. I appreciate the idea of it, and I know from what I've heard, it holds up better than like GoldenEye. But I just never owned an N64. So because I never owned an N64,
it's okay. N64 sucks.
Oh, Mark, will hit you with that third leg of that controller.
I agree. From a I've never said the controller's good ever.
Yeah, good. Some
in my life,
classic games in there. Still ugly though. Ugly looking games.
Ugly. It definitely doesn't hold up nowadays. And I've never said the controller's good. I have said that controller is necessary nowadays for an accurate
Yes.
representation of what those games were.
Yeah.
So if you want to play on NSO, if you even want to emulate it or something like that, you're not getting the full experience without an N64 controller. Pro controller, Xbox controller, PlayStation, does not matter what you throw at it. You need a damn N64 controller because there's not enough buttons on other ones. The C buttons don't map to a stick the right way. You're just not getting the experience. The N64 controller sucks, but it's necessary if you want to go back and have that nostalgia.
The joy of Nintendo. Play it our way or the highway.
Hey, yeah, you can pay $50 to get one for your Switch right now, Marcus.
I have one.
Oh, no, I know.
Is there any question about that?
Yeah. Of course. I mean, $50 Nintendo. Hey, come by.
Exactly. Membership has its privileges, and
I have an official one, and then I have another a knockoff one.
Were they the first to do that? The Wavebird, right?
Wavebird was the first good wireless controller.
Were they the first to put the Rumble in, or did PlayStation have that?
No, Rumble Pack.
Rumble Pack was first on N64.
Came in later.
Got it. Well, they're like, hey, we made a bad ergonomic controller. We had some innovative.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
They made the world's first and worst analog stick after the
Atari which was used for years afterwards, even
before the PlayStation one.
Before PlayStation.
PlayStation finally Dual Shock.
The Dual Shock, yeah.
No, it was just the dual. It was just they had one without rumble. They had four two sticks. Then they brought the Dual Shock after that, and the rest was history.
You're right. God,
Dreamcast also had an analog stick, but only one. Again,
just one.
So yeah, very strange. Okay, so Metal Gear Solid though, I love this game. My PlayStation was dying. I had to turn it upside down, so it still played because that laser in the PlayStation 1 was horrible. Love the game. Switching controller ports so you could actually take out Psycho Mantis, which was really cool. There were so many cool things about that game. So it was a game that needed that technology to make it work.
Yeah.
You know, you think a lot of games that were just like, had a CD soundtrack, but this one really needed all of that capability to really bring it to life. So I just think the game is amazing. I don't love all the Metal Gear Solid games, but I'm a fan of the series. So
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Just, you know, we're the one commissioner or the chief or whatever who dies. He's having a heart attack on the toilet in prison. All of the pinging back and forth.
But that blew me away at the beginning, though, man.
The
and
heart
then remember
rate,
when you're being interrogated and you have to survive. You have to smash this X or cross.
Otacons calling you all the time. You have those conversations.
Oh,
it's
what a game, you guys!
I know.
Even though it was hideous, and you just had the blurred faces because it was just so ugly, you know.
And every time Snake dies, someone else says, Snake! It's so good. It's so, and that sound at the end, it's so,
Oh, man. Soundtrack.
If it wasn't for that game, we would have not gotten Mission Impossible, Dan. So it wasn't for that game, we would not gotten the new Mission Impossible. It's just,
I love. Did you guys play the Mission Impossible on PlayStation 1?
I never did. Or Mission Impossible on the N60. Was it N64?
Yeah, I think it was on N64 too. Yeah.
Probably.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I have that somewhere. I have that PlayStation 1 disc. I gotta find that.
That's awesome.
Show that to you, Todd.
Okay, well, hopefully everybody had a good time picking out games now that are old enough to rent a car, which is pretty fantastic. But going from there, we're going to go to what we've been gaming. So, Dan, I know you've been playing another game that you finished a while ago, but what's new?
Guys, I've been gaming. It's what is it? The 6th, not even January 6th, watch out. It's January 6th, 2025. We're not gonna have a repeat of last year or last 4 or 5 years ago, whatever that was. Guys, I've been playing my Switch like crazy. I've been gaming. Okay.
That's amazing.
I've already one game that I beat this year on PC was Ace Combat 6. It was fine. I was trying to hit up my nostalgia of Air Combat and Ace coming on the PlayStation 1. It wasn't quite there. 6 out of 10. But I have been playing so much of my Game Boy Advance. I don't believe I had, or if I did have a Game Boy Advance.
Yes.
There were 2 games that I missed on here that I needed to play. I'm a diehard Metroid fan, and as you can see, I've got them pinned right up there. I had never played Metroid Fusion or Metroid Zero Mission. Super Metroid is in my top 5 games of all time. Still think it's the best Metroidvania ever made. I beat Castlevania last year, or Symphony of the Night. I think it destroys that. I don't know. I don't get the hype around that one, but we can talk about that another time. Anyway, I beat Metroid Prime Fusion. It was good. My brother hyped it out a lot because I think that was like one of his. He's younger than me. He's like 6 years younger than me. That's like one of his favorites. I thought it was good, but boys, just earlier today, I beat Metroid Zero Mission, which is a remake of Metroid 1. I had no idea this game
existed. The definitive way to play Metroid 1.
This game, 9 out of 10, blew me away. This is like the closest I've gotten to Super Metroid easily. But if I had to rank my Metroid games, easily Super Metroid number 1, Metroid Dread would be number 2. I love Metroid Dread. And then this would be number 3. Zero Mission, you guys. What a fantastic game. If you have not played this and you are a Metroid fan, go play Zero Mission. I was blown away, Mark, because they did such a great job of incorporating the original game, adding new powers that I felt like actually helped you gain abilities and continue to grow. Unlike Fusion, where it felt like, I don't know, Fusion just felt different in a not in a bad way. Zero Mission felt like,
was Fusion Metroid. Is it numbered like in a way like it
would be after
it's after Super
Metroid? Yeah, it's after Super Metroid.
It picks up right after you save the thing, you get infected, blah blah blah.
And then doesn't Dread happen right after that too, or something?
Yeah.
But anyway, and so that's go ahead, Mark. You were going to say something about Metroid.
No, I think that ranking is perfect for it. Super Metroid Dread, right up there for me. And Fusion, while I really enjoyed Fusion because when I played Fusion, and this might be the same for your brother, I played it right alongside Metroid Prime. And there were little things that you could do with the Game Boy Link cable and all that kind of stuff that just kind of added to that. So that was like a full-on Metroid like obsession moment, right?
Yeah.
But still, compared to those other games, if you can step back and play them, and I play them on my Ambernick thing, and freaking love those games. But yeah, that's cannot go wrong with that ranking.
Mark, I was blown away by.
I was going to say Zero Mission's kind of funny because if you think the first Metroid game had no map, had like none of these things that you associate.
When you beat it, you would
Metroid
lock it. And I tried it, and I'm like, this is terrible. I can't do this.
No,
there's no way.
There's
no way I was going to go back and try to beat the first one. This is a great way to. So, guys, if you at all are a fan of Metroidvanias, and Metroid in general, this is a must play. If you somehow skipped it like I did, Metroid Zero Mission, absolutely fantastic. Last game I want to mention, I've also been playing Blasphemous, like I said, another Metroidvania
on the Switch, or are you playing it on the Legion?
Playing it Legion, playing it on my laptop, playing it on PC as well, and a great
game. Is it a Game Pass game?
No, it's not.
Oh, really?
I purchased this on Steam, and it's difficult. Like they're not like difficult like Souls, like combat difficulty, but more like platforming, like cheap deaths, kind of like
Ninja Gaiden, like where it's that just difficult combat.
Yeah, and I know they're making the next Ninja Gaiden, which I guess will
that looks
perfectly.
Great. Yeah.
So yeah, not like difficult combat where I'm just having difficulty. Just if you don't do a perfect jump, you're going to fall to your death, or stuff like that. What I do like about it is that unlike Dark Souls, you gain like your souls or whatever. You don't lose that on death. That always stays with you, which is nice. So you don't have to worry about that. You just lose like your power, your magic bar basically for your special attacks. Then that starts to decrease until you go get it. And if you keep dying and you don't get it back, it's still there. But you can go to this one person and pay a bunch of souls to refill your magic meter. If you're at all interested in Metroidvanias or something like an action platformer like Ori, I highly recommend Blasphemous. I'm really enjoying that as well.
Nice.
I'm going to have to give that a shot.
Also on the Switch. And I almost think I should have bought it on the Switch, to be perfectly honest, because, guys, there's nothing that beats the Switch and its battery life, Todd. As much as I hate the stinky Switch, this thing, if you're just going to play basic indies and even Nintendo, this thing's battery, it can't be beat. Like, that's the one thing we're talking about with Eric. I know Eric was on recently. Yeah. He just got a ROG Ally, and he's like, the battery life on this sucks. I'm like, I know it does. Unless you get the X, which is $800 US dollars.
It's the price of power, right?
2,000 Canadian dollars, I'm sure. So
yeah,
I can't imagine. So sorry.
Yeah.
Price of power.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, the Switch, that's the thing with Nintendo. Like, it's say what you want about their hardware, but like they find that balance of price
and
battery life, performance. Like they find the balance that clearly works with the Switch. I'm hoping they can bring it with Switch 2.
I found some web results. I can show
Shut
you.
up, Siri. That's Mark.
That was me. My
Trier's
HomePod's
house.
talking over there. I
Siri's
don't know
talking
what
to you
she's
over-
going on.
Nintendo's gameplay, Mark. You're absolutely right. Like I
Yeah.
hate the sticky Switch sometimes, but they just know how to make well playing games. I don't love all their modern stuff, but these 2000 stuff, man, I love it.
Yeah.
Very solid. All right, Mark. Speaking of old games,
Speaking of old games, yeah, I've been dipping back. Skyward Sword went on sale after the holidays. I picked that up.
Don't shake your head, Todd.
That has been a sore spot for me in the Zelda franchise. Because my Wii, I had that game for the Wii. I was playing through it, and my Wii got dropped.
why did you have your Wii up in the air?
I didn't mean to. We
Not
were
a portable,
moving.
Mark.
I accidentally dropped it in I think it fell out of a box or something in the moving truck. Anyway, something just got hit. It would still work, but it would never ever read discs again. So I could play like any virtual console games or anything that I loaded onto the Switch that were there, but could never play it again. So I am so happy to be revisiting this game, and it looks beautiful on Switch. HD, like some of the textures and stuff, and some of the things you can see that it's just kind of upscaled or whatever. But like,
Mark, do you have an OLED?
I do.
Okay, yeah, that helps too. I've noticed
Yeah.
an OLED screen on this.
Yeah, it looks great. But even on my 4K TV, like it still looks good. So I'm really enjoying playing through this, and my son's really enjoying watching it, and really enjoying. I've hardly done combat in this dumb game because my son wants to steal the damn Joy-Con and shake the Switch around, and he figured out how to do like the putting them apart and doing the spin, or moving them up and down and doing the back flip or front flip slashes. He practiced in that dojo for a long time, just getting the jab and getting the stuff right. And his little 4-year-old brain was just like, I am becoming a knight. So the intro, which is already a little long, took me an hour or so longer because this little demon seed was deciding that he wanted to become an actual knight and joust these wooden poles in the dojo. But I've been enjoying it. It's been really, really fun. And the other game that he's been obsessed with, both playing battle mode, which I've never ever played in this series before, and he really loves going head to head with me and seeing if which one of us will win. So 2-player mode in Pikmin 2 has been a staple for the last week or so. And then when he's done of that, either he wins enough or he gets frustrated if I win a single match. He will decide that it's time to just play single player Pikmin 2. And again, we trade off the controller. He likes exploring around. As soon as there's combat, kind of the opposite of Zelda. As soon as there's combat in Pikmin, he whips the controller at my head and says, beat this thing. So he's not that violent. I'm playing that up. But like he does, he's like, no, you have to do this. He's terrified of the giant bulb orbs. So I've been playing through Pikmin 2 and finishing that off because I started it a while ago, kind of moved on to something else. So I'm back, just kind of cleaning up the last few treasures that I need to find. So it's been a good like revisiting old games that I kind of never finished or never got to. So
Nice.
But man, Skyward Sword, so good, so different. I'm loving it.
It's so funny you bring it up because I think the last time I was on, I told you guys that I was trying to beat it, and
Yeah.
Todd knows that I finally did it last year. We just did our episode talking about what games we had beaten, and I'd beaten Skyward Sword. And I was telling him, I spent 45 hours on that game, and reflecting on it, I told Todd, and he hates me for saying this, like I enjoyed it, I think, more than Link's Awakening because it was like the last version of what I wanted a Zelda game to be with the
It
traditional
was the last classic
dungeons.
Zelda. It really was.
But there's a big asterisk on that with the heinous, absolutely terrible combat. I was telling Todd, if this game somehow actually implemented proper combat controls, it would have definitely been a potential. I don't know if one of my favorites, but definitely up there on my list of Zelda games. So
as someone who's put 45 hours into this thing, and I've only just kind of gotten to the surface, explored around that first little section, all that kind of shit. There is an option for not using motion controls.
that's what I used. It's still bad.
It's still bad. Okay. So what does that entail? Because obviously playing with a 4-year-old in tow, I have not played it myself. It's always with him. It's always with the motion control. He wants to use the Joy-Con. He loves slashing in the directions.
I can give you a quick demo right here. So basically you have to hold L whenever you are looking around to control both thumbsticks at the same time. So L puts you basically in camera mode, and it's like any traditional, like now you can control looking around with the right thumbstick. Otherwise, you're swiping with your combat, your swings are with the right stick. So if I'm swinging to the left, I go that way to the right, and then to do the swirl, you have to do a swirl, and then up and down would do the power attack. You know, yeah, Todd's face is that. You're right, Todd. It's trash. It's so bad.
I was gonna say, that like hurts my brain. I'm like, I have to de-think how to play games.
I did the whole game like that, Mark. The entire game.
I'm gonna have to try it.
Controls. Here's the thing, though. I like what you're doing, incorporating your son in there, and like I can see the appeal for, and I think Todd would agree with a younger kid playing it. I think that's very cool. Almost makes me think I should have gotten Grace in there, but then I would have been like, 140 hours.
It's gonna take me a while. I'm gonna need to play this, so that's why I'm asking. Like, what am I in store for when I do play this in handheld, and he's distracted by Moana or something on TV, and I can play this myself for a little? What am I getting into? It sounds like it's like Blade for the PS2, where the control stick controlled all the. Do you remember that game? The control stick.
I remember we talked about I couldn't even remember that game existed, and you brought it up. I think I'm like, what?
It was the exact same, because the enemies would attack you like they'd circle around you, and you needed the stick because Blade could like punch forward but then kick backwards, or like sweep to the side and then hit something with the other. Like that was the control. It was all the right stick controlled every single bit of combat.
I'm glad I played it.
Okay.
I'm never going to play it again with those controls.
I got you.
The list
now. I got you.
That's what it comes down to. If they ever improved it and made a modern, maybe I would replay it, but I'm just glad this is like the last one I have major Zelda titles is Twilight Princess. That's the only other one I really missed.
As I will call it, Toilet Princess.
And I still have Tears of the Kingdom there, but I plan on getting to that eventually. But yeah, guys, I have my top 3 favorite Switch games, and this is up there with Metroid Dread and Super Mario Wonder. Even though I haven't played Mario Wonder, I'm assuming it's going to be that good. The other ones are hidden behind
it's
there.
Good, man.
You want to know where I stopped playing Skyward Sword on the Switch?
I'm going to say the opening credits.
No, when I got on that damn bird thing, and I absolutely detested the controls. I'm like, I like doing this. Like
that wasn't that bad.
I hated it. I hated it.
The good thing about it, you don't have to do it that much.
Yeah, no.
And I will say, Mark, my 45 hours, I did a lot, and I was pretty close to like all hearts, but I didn't do any crazy unnecessary side stuff where you have to like collect like 100 or something, these like tears of goodness or whatever they were, acts of kindness or whatever.
And the bug collecting, it's I remember that kind of stuff.
Wind Waker's still my favorite 3D Zelda
Wind Waker's
game.
awesome. You're right.
I love that, especially what they did to improve it on the Switch.
Where is that, you guys?
Sorry, on the Wii U. My son loved it.
Never mind. Nintendo predictions. Go ahead, Todd.
I was just, don't steal mine. I swear to God.
Okay. Not going to touch it. Not going to look at your blue envelope. I don't know. So really quickly, Dragon Age is finished. 70 hours. Damn. I did not complete it. I missed some quests, but I felt I got all, just like Mass Effect 2, Dan.
Can I ask you, Todd, can you get every achievement in one playthrough, or is stuff missable?
No, I think you can. You just have to, there is a point in the game where it says this is like the point, the point of no return. It tells you right there. Okay. So clean up all your quests, do all that stuff.
Second question.
Yes.
I have Dragon Age 2 installed on my computer, on my Xbox Series X. Do I need to play that and play Inquisition?
Nope. Okay. Not at all. I only played portions of those games, and I felt like they did such a good job of just bringing you into that world. And if you played those games, it's going to be great for you. If you didn't, it's great too. And Dan, you'll love this. This feels like Mass Effect 2. It is getting your team together. It's doing the companion missions.
I like
It's
Mass Effect 3.
figuring out who you're going to romance. And I told Mark last episode, I'm like, I think I might get in trouble because I been romancing 2 people.
How'd that go for you?
I didn't get caught.
There you go. That's my
It all
dog
worked
right
out in the
there.
end. Yeah, I got a burner phone.
Nice.
But I absolutely loved it. It's really great. And it does like Mass Effect 2, that final mission, like who survives. And you make decisions who will survive. So not everybody, I mean, I don't know if you can get through it with everybody surviving or not. But man,
Okay.
I loved it to pieces. It's great. I know some people have problems with it. I talked about the one thing I think people had problems with, but
Yeah.
I don't know why people would throw out a game just for that one stupid thing that quite honestly is not worth the drama it caused. It was silly, but great game. Loved it. Did not expect to really get into this game. The combat's great. I know Bacon's loving the game.
Oh yeah,
combat.
Bacon's really loving.
Oh,
the
it's
game.
great, Dan. It's and you can just mix and match your parties. You got 3 people in your party. It's great. Highly recommend the game.
It's on the list. It's on the backlog.
Yeah. A mobile game I've really gotten into, and in our household, this game has quickly become like the game my son and I are just all in on is Balatro. I bought this on Android. If you have the iPhone, you have the game arcade, whatever it's called.
Yeah, Apple Arcade version.
It's
I actually installed the other day and haven't played it yet, but it is on my phone.
So my son bought it on his phone. He bought it on PC. My son is ridiculous. He doesn't understand the value of money. He's like, I just want to play it everywhere.
Well, isn't it like $15 or something?
Yeah, exactly, Dan. But why does he get it on Steam? And you'll notice your kids will probably get into this when they get a little older. He just likes to mod everything to cheat. That's what he likes to do. He just likes to screw everything up. So, but it's great. I love it to pieces. It's so much strategy. It's not revolutionary. I've talked about this. It should not be up for Game of the Year.
Really?
It's poker with some twists, but it's not like he created a real, like a game that you never heard of before. He basically took something and he put a twist on it, just like most board games are, and most other things are. So I appreciate the ability to do this, the fact that he's brought in other developers now to be part of your card decks, which are great, like all these different properties, which I really think is great. But it's a fantastic game if you just want to play something. It's the perfect toilet game. That's why I was waiting for mobile. Why would I play it on my couch when I can play it on the toilet?
Right.
If I got a good run, it might be a long toilet.
That's
break.
the answer.
Sorry.
The Switch. That's the question the Switch is asking and answering is,
exactly.
why play it on your couch? That's why the Switch is sold 4 billion units is for that very reason.
Absolutely. Toilet time. That's why the Wii U failed. You couldn't play it on your toilet.
Exactly.
Too far away.
Yeah.
And then, Dan, you're going to appreciate this. Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is Game of the Year 2024.
Mark lied. He said he was going to play more of it and talk about it this week.
I played a little bit more, but my son wants to play Zelda, and I didn't get too much Xbox time. So I did play a little bit more, but not enough to really jump in with more discussion.
Well, I'm not going to spoil it. But
okay. Well, incredible. Dan, I took the way out in this game that has made it so much enjoyable for me. I dumbed it down.
I
dumbed it down.
Eric. You could literally play it as a shooter if you wanted to.
Well, I'm not doing it as a shooter. I'm just doing it as I don't get caught easily. I am like the bad
Even if you do,
guy.
it's fun.
Exactly. I know it's fly swatters.
I get all the weapons. I pick them up all the time.
You know,
I've never used the repair kits. I don't understand the point of them because I was just picking up stuff every time.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, there's so many weapons around.
Like, hey, I don't have anything. I'm repairing my shovel.
Why would you ever repair one?
Never used one once.
Yeah, no.
The
second I got an achievement for hitting someone with a guitar, I was like, I'm testing everything.
Todd, by the way, there were some sections where I'm like, I'm playing this like Wolfenstein. And I did. Specifically at the end, there were like the last 2 seconds. I think it's kind of almost made like arena-wise for it. So I was just like, take this, you Nazi scum.
Oh, I loved it because the second time you run into Tony Todd in this small area, I couldn't figure. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? I'm like, I feel like I'm not doing any damage to this guy. I'm punching him. I'm running away. The girl is throwing bottles at him. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So eventually I said, screw this. I've been doing this forever. I'm not making a dent. I pulled my revolver, shot him twice, and he didn't die. That's the thing. He doesn't die.
No
but he gets
spoilers.
knocked out
Mark's
because
not
he gets, no spoilers. But I love it because it does it once you actually get past some certain parts. Like I would say, leave the Vatican. I thought once I left the Vatican,
dude.
once I left the Vatican, I'm having a lot more fun with it.
Here's the thing. I agree with you. You could fly through the Vatican if you just stick to the main mission, get your camera, and just follow it.
That's what I did.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think the Vatican's the underground area that was giving me serious Oblivion
so good
vibes, like incredible. But I can see what you're saying, Todd, but I still think it's worth exploring the Vatican. But you're right, it is more of a maze there. It's not as easy to navigate.
I mean,
I completely agree. But it is cool how they wrap it all back together, like the different pathways, like souls, like demon souls. Like you come back, I'm over here, and like the level design in Indie the whole game is just super underrated.
Yeah, I like the fact when you find a book, it can improve your stats. That's something fun too. So I really am enjoing it. I'm enjoying.
You are, Todd.
I am.
Can I ask you? No spoilers. What area are you? What biome are you
in?
Don't say it. What, first, second, or third?
Second.
Okay.
I'm really enjoying it though because I feel like I've got my partner, kind of a partner, which is fun. I'm having a good time.
Are you where it's hot right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, dude. It only gets better. Like somehow, and I love that.
I've heard the Elysium. Like I'm so excited.
I gotta
dude. It only gets. And what's crazy, you guys, is you're like it's still you go on an adventure for sure. You trust me. Just when you think like, okay, this is the last area. Nope. And it's not like, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. Like all these little. I don't want to say anything else. I'm not gonna say anything else.
No, I'm loving it to pieces. Like I like this one part of the level where. I'm sneaking. They caught me up on a ledge where they can't get to me, so they're throwing random shit.
Yeah, they throw stuff.
So I'm whipping him, and he's falling down. He knows so it's like this weird stalemate that makes no sense. But I'm like, I'm having fun. Why not? I'm loving it. And I've said it this is my year. I just find the fun, but I don't make the fun find me. So I made it so the game was enjoyable to me.
Yeah,
so I played it on my own terms, and because I was good, because I'm like, I don't want to miss a great experience just because part of this game I don't love
too, Todd.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're in for such like funny stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited. So I feel bad, Dan, because you're making me betray my son, who said, "Dad, after Dragon Age, you're playing Cyberpunk," because my son loves that. It's one of his favorite games of all time.
I don't think you're gonna like Cyberpunk as much as it is.
Well, I love Cyberpunk.
Oh, well, then you're gonna love it then. I didn't know you. If you're a Cyberpunk fan, you're gonna love it.
And I love machine games. I think they're amazing. I don't know if I love them enough to go back though to play like the old the Riddick games.
I thought about that.
Yeah, I don't know if they've aged well. I mean, they redid it on the 360 or
I think you can just play it back compat on the Series X with like the still FPS boost.
Those Wolfenstein games to me are top tier. Love them to pieces. Yeah. Such a good story. I have the Terrorbilly special edition too, where it's the action.
Oh yeah, I saw it. You showed me. Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah. I do, Todd. I do think you should play Cyberpunk after Indie. I do think.
I am. I've just decided that because I want to finish it before our game of the year, the Couchies. So that's why we go. That's why we go to the 20th, Dan, because I want more time to finish games that happen versus have to rush. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's kind of I just watched the interview with.
Bye, Grayson.
Hey,
bye, Grayson.
See ya.
Say hi, Todd.
Hi, Todd.
And Mark. That's
hello.
Hi, Mark.
Hi.
Brothers. Grayson was also playing the Switch, and he was playing the old school Mario Brothers. Actually, he was trying to miss
awesome.
Zero mission. I was shocked. I was like, but I don't know if you're ready for this, but he was doing all right.
You should play Mario Wonder. That's a great game too.
He has been playing Mario Wonder, but he's playing. What are you playing right now, buddy? Star Wars. He just got Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga on Switch.
So don't play Jedi. Don't play Jedi Force Unleashed on the Switch though. It's the Wii version, which I think is so
Lego
funny.
Star Wars is like my comfort food, man. When I don't know what else I'm going to play, I just jump in. I'm like, I pick an episode and go.
Yep.
I love that game.
It's so good. It was free on, was it free on Epic or Amazon? It was free on one of those services. It was amazing.
Oh shoot. I can't remember which one, but that's a game. I took a note out of your son's book and I double dipped on that one. I have that on Switch and Xbox. And then it dropped on Game Pass, and I was like, "Damn it! I did not have to spend $100 and something on this."
Exactly. I'm thinking about getting it for him on Xbox too. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, The FOMO. I bought that on Xbox. Now I don't even own an Xbox. Oh well. And
Well, you might
last,
be able to stream that down the road, Todd.
that's what I'm hoping,
Yeah.
Dan. That's what I'm hoping. I want to stream the games I own on Xbox that I can't play anywhere else.
That's
Oh
what
well.
bacon is too.
It's coming.
And then lastly, my son and I, speaking of Cyberpunk Edge Runners, we've been watching that on Netflix. It is amazing. I love how they basically take parts of the show, incorporate it, and the secondary character that has its own life, this own storyline. I love it. It's super violent though, very adult. So don't watch it with your kids.
Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. But we're enjoying it. And it gets to a certain point when your son is 19, you can actually watch stuff with your kid like he's an adult. So it's very cool, very interesting. And he also really liked the secret level episodes that are out. The Pac-Man one, we talked about that. He watched it with me. I watched the Dungeons and Dragons one, which was great. And I'm going to be watching some more of those because it's really good. So check out those video game shows. And that's where I am at in my gaming for this year.
Awesome.
More to come. And folks, yell at Mark to play more Indiana Jones.
I'm getting
Take
it.
your time, Mark. Just take your time with it. Don't feel rushed. Take your time and enjoy.
I'm about to leave the Vatican. I was one that I knew I could have left. After I got the camera, I was like, I can just probably golden path this, but I kind of want to explore a little bit because there's a lot of stuff here. And I feel like Indiana Jones would explore before he moved on a little bit. But I just watched the interview. There's an interview, so I forget who dropped it with Troy Baker, saying how he auditioned and how the director said like I don't want you in my game and all this. And it just put. I watched it last night and it put me right back into like the Indiana Jones movie. Oh man,
well, I brought that up with Todd or on Nerd Chatter last week. How he said he made me realize I wasn't trying to be Indiana Jones. I was trying to make you feel like
yes,
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it's so good.
I was like, Troy, I was over Troy Baker, and I'm like, Troy Baker, you're the man. I owe you an apology.
He's very talented. Yeah, he's kind of a diva.
After
when you see
Indy,
how
I was
he does-
like, incredible.
You know what?
Wait, guys, Todd, breaking news right now. Breaking news.
Oh wow!
X Bacon Gaming, $2,000 for the NVIDIA 5090.
Oh, that's $500 cheaper than I thought it was going to be. Go Bacon, go Bacon. That's what I mean when you are a dink. That's what you can do.
Yes.
When you have no children, you can do things like that. That is amazing. Bacon's going to have a great 2025 in the world of gaming. He's selling his 4090, Mark. He's selling his 4090. Oh, there we go. Oh, well, I love that for Bacon. They just announced new. It's also what they announced. They announced new chipsets for mobile PC handhelds too from AMD. So throw your
I know
Legion
Go. I'm returning it.
Throw to the garbage. Sorry, Alec. We told Eric to wait until CES.
Well, we'll talk about this later.
We'll talk about it. Yeah, but apparently, Mark, there's like no tax on certain things in Canada right now.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. There you go.
Oh,
yeah, that's crazy. I love it. Yeah. So that is it for what we've been gaming. So I'm so excited for this. I will say though, I'm all about Disney. If we don't get a live action Indiana Jones movie, I would love Troy Baker to do the voice of a CGI Indiana Jones in a animated movie or series. That would be amazing.
That'd be pretty great.
Okay. With that, gentlemen, it's time for a commercial. It's time for the reckoning. Our predictions for 2025. Obviously, we know there's going to be a lot of announcements throughout the year. Things will go awry. Things are actually happening this week at CES, but that's okay. So before we get into 2025, we've got to take our bumps and bruises for 2024, Mark. So we had Sean Capri on that show. Yep. And we had some good, the bad, and the ugly. So, Mark, would you like to take the Xbox predictions we had in 2024?
Sure. Yeah. Sean predicted Guitar Hero something.
We got a guitar, right? They brought back
we got a guitar that's compatible with Fortnite.
And Rock Band 4.
Rock Band, yeah. So Guitar Hero is the one music game that didn't make an appearance.
Sure.
Which is something.
There was guitar, Rock Band though. Yeah, not guitar. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Rock Band, and then Fortnite, which I guess like would Fortnite be the spiritual successor for Rock Band or for Guitar Hero? Like, is that kind of the vibe they're trying to
Guitar
go
Hero
for?
Live, was that the thing? That was
Maybe.
last?
I guess I don't know. I predicted an exclusive Disney game that wasn't Indiana Jones.
Disney Dreamlight Valley?
No, it was. I think I was aiming for another franchise. Sony's gotten.
I feel like Indy. I think you got that.
But
right.
I think it was already announced before then.
I think it was already announced. I think
you're right,
I was expecting something else to go along with Indy. I thought.
How about Blade? Was that Blade last year? Or was that the year prior?
No, Blade.
Year before.
Was that a year before?
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sorry, Mark. I'm trying to get you points, man.
Yeah, that was the kind of vibe that I was going for. Sony has Spider-Man, Wolverine. I thought there was going to be something else in that
How
Disney
about Epic
thing.
Mickey?
Nice with everyone. Yeah, and that's not an exclusive. So I really thought another Disney exclusive, but we saw one released. Blade's getting word. Like, I'm not going to give myself points, but like, man, I think with the success of Indiana Jones, we will see this one come true. It just didn't happen in 2024.
Yeah. Right.
You, Todd, a remake of Elder Scrolls or Fallout was predicted.
We got more Fallout 76 content.
There we
In
go.
the year that Fallout killed media.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was the show this year?
That was
Mhm.
2024, beginning of the year. Yeah.
Yep.
Woo.
Great show.
Ooh, Nelly. I cannot
Great show.
wait. Is that 2026?
Yeah, aren't they filming it now or something?
Yeah, they're filming right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2026. Darn.
Walton Goggins was just on the cover of something.
Sexiest ghoul.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
Okay, Mark.
awesome stuff. Nintendo,
I'll take Nintendo.
give her.
Sean said Metroid Prime 2 remake. This game is like trapped behind doors. It's already done, apparently. But they
Gotta
just, I don't know what they're saving it for. I don't know.
If only they had a hardware release coming up,
I know.
they could save this for.
Would that be a kick in the pants if, like, oh, you're getting Metroid Prime 2 and Metroid Prime 4 is now delayed again?
Oh God, no.
The monkey paw.
Yeah.
Mark, Wave Race 99 did not happen. We
Nope.
got what was the last 99 game we got?
F-Zero.
Excite Bike? No. It was F-Zero 99.
Yeah.
That's right. Did I just make up Excite Bike 99
I think so.
in my brain? Did I just will something to happen?
Does that count as your prediction for this year?
Probably.
If you don't predict it and it happens, that's going to be the most
Oh,
hilarious
yeah,
thing ever.
absolutely. I love it. Yeah, mark that down. Mario Kart 10, Metroid Prime 4, double fail. Apparently, they wanted nothing to prop up the last year of Switch sales. So there we go.
Yep.
Okay, Mark, you want
PlayStation? Sean predicted a new Uncharted game. Nope. I predicted God of War VR, the VR component to God of War. New.
What? Didn't that come out? Oh no, I'm thinking of Horizon. Sorry,
Horizon. Yeah,
that was the year before that. Sony,
and that
Sony
was
doesn't
that,
even
and
know
that's
about
the
the
reason I
Horizon
predicted
VR.
that.
2 years? Oh god.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
And that's the reason I predicted it. I was like, they're gonna
something,
see
right?
Horizon. They got to take some of their other popular franchises. What else? God of War. Nothing. But PlayStation's PSVR strategy is.
I think they forgot it happened.
Yeah, you'd think. And you said there was a PSVR 2 battery pack remote.
Yeah, so you could basically unplug it and it would use Wi-Fi like Oculus, but
okay.
wireless VR.
So yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. And Astrobot.
I did say there was going to be an Astrobot game, and that was announced and released in 2024.
Damn. All right. And it was fantastic. So good job.
Right. Third party. Sean said Alan Wake 2 on Game Pass. No, but that's it.
No,
It needs it needs more sales. It needs more sales. It needs to get off Epic, get on Steam, get everywhere. That game is amazing. Mark, you said Riders Republic 2 coming in 2024.
Yep.
Did it
Nope.
happen? No.
No.
Okay. And I said RE9, third person co-op in 2025. Yeah, we don't have a new RE game announced. That's got to be happening this year, right? A new RE game getting announced?
You'd imagine.
Oh, don't show me the blue
Recycle.
envelope, Dan. He's writing it down. He's changing his predictions. Yeah, these aren't copyrighted or trademarked by Todd. Okay, we're going to get into, before we get into 2025, we're going to reach out to our friends on Discord around the web. So we got the Nias family. They said the Switch 2 will be an upgrade from 3 generation ago chip to 1 generation ago chipset. What do you think will be the biggest gaming surprise? Well, I think Microsoft moves to a third-party hardware platform for handheld gaming with exclusive games. Okay. What do you guys think would be the biggest surprise?
That would be a wild surprise. I don't think that's exactly the strategy. I think Microsoft enjoys producing hardware, but if you look at their computer business, I think you can see where they want to go with their gaming business. Just the same way that you can buy a laptop or a computer, a desktop, build your own PC. I think Xbox is kind of thinking the same way. They want to build their own Surfaces and they want to build their own PC, computers. They want to build their own Xboxes and show people how it's done. But I also think they're open to other things and they're going to be putting that on everything. They want look at the current marketing. Everything is an Xbox. We're going to see a partnership with Quest that they've already announced, but we're going to see that materialize this year with an Xbox branded Quest 3.
Wait, is that your prediction?
No, that's already, they've announced that's going to happen. That's a known thing. It's an Xbox branded Quest 3. That's been announced.
Really?
That could be shown off this week.
Okay.
That, so like we're going to see those kind of partnerships pop up with Xbox, but I don't think they're getting out of the hardware business completely. But damn, if that one's correct, man, that's going to be a swing. Like Sean's going to have some big bragging rights for that one.
Dan, biggest gaming surprise of 2025. This is not counting against.
This is hard. I didn't come with this prediction, but I gotta call Mark out right now. It's Meta has announced a special edition inspired by Xbox.
Yeah, that's what I said. An Xbox branded. It's going to be Xbox branded. It's inspired.
It's just black and green. But anyway,
it's going to come with 3 months of Game Pass. It's going to be black and green, and it's that's what I said. It's going to be an Xbox inspired. It's just going to be a Quest 3 with Xbox packaging or some shit. But like,
we'll see.
It's fun to play on Quest 3, man. I will tell you that.
I've heard. Yeah, I mean, after Luke raving, about
I believe I had my Quest 3S on for the Nerd Chat
you did.
Game Awards react.
Oh yeah, you for wearing.
That was fun.
Todd, I'm gonna throw it to you. I can't think of something that's really gonna surprise us this year. I think I'll tie it back into one of my predictions. I'll say that.
I'm going to make the dumbest surprise announcement.
Let's hear it.
GTA 5 will be coming to the Switch 2. Finally, after 13 years.
Okay.
But will not include GTA Online.
Is that really one of your predictions? Because I'm going to write that down.
Well, that's just the biggest game. I'm just saying for this. I'm like, because I just imagine that there's kids that will finally get to play GTA 5. The 3 people who never played it before.
155 million who haven't played it already or whatever it is.
You know what I think could be a big surprise though? COD being competent on Switch 2.
That's true.
Because
they've not needing Wiimote
that's
controls.
Something that's this whole deal having to go through. They have to deliver it on a Nintendo. They have to deliver it on PlayStation, blah, blah, blah. All those rules of the Activision purchase from Microsoft, we haven't seen any of the Switch side of that yet. And I think they're waiting for Switch 2, and I think it's going to be surprisingly competent. And I think that could be a surprise for a lot of people.
I mean, does that get us to a point where we see like Call of Duty Black Ops or whatever on mobile too? So it's kind of like we finally see those games coming to like mobile, like the actual console game versus just Warzone. I will say though, on the third-party hardware platform, I think Microsoft potentially could go more the route of like Android they have their Pixel line.
Yeah.
And I could see Microsoft having like, this is the premier Windows platform. Like, you're going to pay more for it, but it's going to be a premium experience, and it's going to be Xbox. We still have hardware. It's like almost like it's like, think about this, Dan. NVIDIA always makes like reference hardware for their graphics cards, but then everybody else, third parties, get to do their own. But I could see this being like, yes, we're still in the hardware game, but we're not leaving it. But this is our twist on it. So I could see
I
that.
have no problem with that. I mean, I've got a Zotac Gaming 4090. That's not an NVIDIA GPU. So.
Yeah, I have an Asus Tough Gamer one, I believe, for my 4070. Okay, Dan, still no megatons?
No, no. Like I said, I'll tie it into my Xbox prediction.
Okay. Mark, do you want to do Brian's question?
Yeah, I can. Let me grab Discord back here. So Brian, aside, I started reading this already, so I'll get back to it. In terms of questions, what is your most hyped, long-awaited release that's supposed to drop in 2025? Looking at you, Metroid Prime 4. I live and die by Metroid, so for me, I cannot wait for Metroid Prime 4. I'm just hoping the rest get remasters as well, and that I don't have to buy a Switch 2 to play them. So I already referenced that, like, oh, there's new hardware coming out. I wonder what they could be holding back the Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remakes for. I hope they don't do that. I hope it's compatible on just Switch. Because Metroid Prime looked great, played great. It was fine. It was a great. I don't know why. I'm with you. I don't know why 2 and 3 aren't there already. Like, buy some time. Make the people that are waiting impatiently for Metroid Prime 4.
When was Metroid Prime 4 announced? Haven't they had
the logo?
Of time?
The logo? When was the logo announced?
It was
how many years?
It was announced before the Sims
Switch?
came out, I think. Yeah, no, yeah.
It was actually an Easter egg in Metroid Prime 3. If you look
Perfect
at the original,
Dark,
if you look at the original Wii game.
Metroid Prime 4 was announced September of 2017.
Yes.
So
good lord,
not far behind the release of the Switch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's my answer. But I'm going to give a different answer, and I will say that I'm looking forward to the next Assassin's Creed game that was pushed back. I'm hoping the setting is cool. I'm hoping that the gameplay changes bring me back into that series and make me excited for it. But that's like an answer that I'm just pulling out because I know that got pushed back to 25, and my real answer is Metroid. So, yeah.
Dan, do you have a most anticipated game for 2025?
Actually, you know what? I'm actually really super excited, and I never thought I would say this, just for the release of the Switch 2. I'm actually really. I don't own. Well, actually, I guess I still own consoles, but I primarily game on PC now. I've really grown to appreciate my Switch, and especially recently. So I'm excited for the Switch 2, and I can't wait for that to come out. And then I'll give my son the OLED because he's just got a Switch Lite right now. Who knows how I'm gonna have to transfer saves? Because Nintendo's gonna make me do some weird stuff. Who knows what back and magic wizardry I'm gonna have to do to get all of his saves over. But game wise, though, I'm really excited for South of Midnight. I think out of all the Xbox games,
hell yeah.
I'm really, really excited for that to see what's the name of the studio? Compulsion Games does. And then I'm also, if it happens this year, Grand Theft Auto 6. Like, let's be real. Like, I loved Grand Theft Auto 5. That's easily my favorite. Like, I think that game it's not a top 10 game for me, but like, overall, though, I can't help but respect everything that game managed to achieve. And that was back in 2013, which is insane to think about. That was a 360 PS3 game first.
God, that's insane to think about.
Which has sold over, by the way, 205 million copies. So
and don't worry, it will be forward compatible on Xbox Series 12 and everything else.
Why wouldn't they release that on the Switch too? Absolutely. So add more copies to that.
It didn't even have online at launch.
Yep, I remember that, dude. I remember all of it. I remember buying it on Xbox, and then thank God I didn't buy it on PC. But I did buy the Series X enhanced version, so I bought that game.
I bought it on PlayStation because I've never finished the game.
The campaign is worth it. I think the campaign.
Well,
worth it.
Yeah.
Well, I got it when I had a little child. So that game is
Oh,
hard to
yeah.
play around little
Super
boys
tough.
that want to come down and say, Daddy,
Now
what are you
he's a
doing?
grown adult. My God.
I know. Now I can do whatever the hell I want.
So yeah, those would be my my most anticipated things for the year, actually. Oh, by the way, on Grand Theft Auto 6, really quick, I think Bacon has said, "Don't buy it on console. There's so much to play. Can I wait for the PC release?
Is it 2 years? They always wait 2 years.
At least 6 months, for sure,
Okay.
or a year."
Okay.
I'm like, I don't know if I could do
I
that.
think
Bacon,
it's at
but we'll
least
see.
a year
But
minimum.
I have so many games to play. You guys.
Oh, Dan, you
I
like to double dip
should.
anyways.
I know. They got me. Go ahead, Todd.
Love it. Game I'm most excited about is Fable. I love that series to pieces.
Oh, I forgot. Fable. Okay, add that to my list.
The problem is, I don't know if that's the sacrificial lamb that just gets, GTA is coming in the fall. We were going to put
Exactly.
Fable in the fall.
Pushed
It gets
back.
tossed
Yeah,
to the wind.
which they absolutely should do. If that does,
Oh, yeah. COD,
we'll talk
COD
about
is
that
the
in a second.
only game from Xbox that should come out in the fall if that's what's going to happen. But if they're playing their cards right, problem is Xbox has too many games now that they're saying is going to come out to do one a quarter because they are going to run out of games. They're going to run out of quarters in 2025. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because especially if you say COD is one of those games. And so, I hate to see Fable get pushed out again. But once again, we really haven't seen anything about that game of what you're actually going to be doing. But I assume it's going to be awesome.
They did say what we saw was game.
I know, but it doesn't feel like I know what I'm doing in the game. Like I want to feel like
Nintendo pulled that off too.
Playground Games doesn't miss, Todd.
Am I driving a Camaro in that game?
Playground Games doesn't miss. Highest Metacritic average scores.
We'll have so many horsepowers or horsepower. It'll be
Forza
fit.
Horizons.
You can modify your horse.
Hopefully they'll be just like whatchamacallit, Horizon Studio.
Oh, exactly. They went from Killzone to
which is still, I mean, much more
true,
close
but I mean, it's amazing
similar.
they went from just a shooter that was overdark to that.
Yeah.
I have faith in the team. I just want to see what I'm doing, and then I'll believe it. And as soon as I can play it, so that's probably my most anticipated game for 2025.
Like Switch in its heyday, they were releasing a first-party game pretty much every month.
Yes,
like at one point,
Switch
like they had
Switch.
Yeah. Switch
they were
to be
just
fair, not
crushing
the same
it.
Demands, but great game.
No, for sure. But like Todd saying, like the Xbox might have to push things if they're aiming for one a quarter. Maybe they're aiming for two a quarter. You know what I mean? Like if they have that many games ready, maybe they just ramp it up. Like make sure it's separated by a month so you don't eat your own lunch.
Yeah.
But like a September release, a November release. Like those kind of that little bit of spacing could really work and kind of keep that momentum going of like, I just played a great game on my Xbox and now there's another great game on my Xbox. Yeah. And you time it out by 2 months and sell 3-month Game Pass subscriptions. I think the math really, really works out in their favor for that one.
Yeah. Keep people around. It's just like Netflix. They always have a new show every month. So you don't leave. I do hope they are, this is going to help them. GTA is going to help them break from like really packing everything into Q4. And I hope they're like, we can put a game every 2 months. That's perfect. Adds value. I love that because they have enough games now to do that. All right. Luke Lore says, what features do you expect Nintendo to not get with the times on? Cloud saves, cross progression, etc. So Luke's going negative Nancy. But he's saying, you know what? He knows Nintendo. I know Nintendo. We all know Nintendo. So what's the one thing like? Of course they've got to do it, and they don't. Dan,
proper voice chat. They're still not going to do it. They're using proper voice chat technology.
Preach. Yep. That's the answer.
No achievements or trophies either. That's not being added either.
Are they still making? I think Luke's right.
I don't think they're going to add anything. They have cloud backups.
They have cloud, like cloud saves. Are
which
are
fine.
As part of the service. As part of the service, you have to pay for it, like PlayStation.
I think like cross progression. I think is more tied to some games. Like I don't think that's a Nintendo thing directly. Like I think the technology is probably there for third parties to have like their own account. Like it might be a pain in the ass to sign up for a Ubisoft account or whatever, but like I think the
Fortnite does it, though,
technology
right?
is laid there, right? Like,
Does Fortnite do it? I'm trying to think of other games
Yeah.
that have done it on
yeah,
Switch. where
Fortnite.
It's like cloud. It has to be in the cloud on what they own versus on Nintendo directly, I believe.
Yeah, it's part of there. So like Fortnite, Rocket League, the game with the beans,
Among
Fall
Us.
Guys
Oh yeah,
crosses
Epic.
over all that,
Yeah, Epic
like
Games.
all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Like I go in, my locker's there, and it's I just play it. So like the tech's there. It just depends on the developer and how they want to set up, and I'm sure it's like more
Because
taxing on their servers or something to maybe, I don't know.
Microsoft does you have to have a Microsoft account for Minecraft, right, on Switch,
Yep.
so it can tie everything in. So I think people are fine with that, right? You have to have an account if it works. That's the price of entry.
Yeah.
It works.
But I agree with Dan. I think probably voice chat would be the main thing that I think they'll still somehow be lacking. Yeah. I just don't think they want to get that right.
I do not think Nintendo will do the free makes like Xbox did, where it's like they will improve their games from previous generations. I think you'll just get whatever the backwards compatibility is, even if the hardware could make it better. I just don't foresee them doing that. And if they do really big advances, you'll get like a proper remake, and they will charge you accordingly for it, like $70 for like Breath of the Wild. Now it's 60 frames per second and all this extra stuff. But you can get the plain Jane version for, if you already own it. It just works.
So what do you put any weight behind the rumors that have been popping up even this week that like the Switch 2 is going to have that is it NVIDIA that does the
NVIDIA does
upscaling
DLSS.
AI
DLSS. Yep.
upresing stuff? Is
Frame
like rumored to
generation.
be in Switch 2. So is that like, are you putting any weight behind that, or do you think that they'll purposefully turn it off for some games?
I just think it's if the DLSS natively will do it, and it takes no extra effort from Nintendo, they'll let it ride. But once again, if they're doing something to touch that game again from the past, and maybe they'll, like, Nintendo's been pretty good though. If like they do that, they will give you something a little bit extra. Like with 3D World, they did Bowser's Fury. So I think they're going to do something. Like if they did something with like Breath of the Wild, they said, yeah, we're giving the Breath of the Wild, we're going to sell it to you, we're going to have enhancements, plus we're going to throw in the DLC that we charged you for. I can see that. But I just don't think they're going to give you like a freebie. It runs better. But I could say, and I don't want to give away my predictions. I have something about that later. Okay, gentlemen, are you ready? We're going to go round robin. Okay, Dan,
Ready to roll.
goes first. Mark, then Todd. We're starting with Xbox.
Xbox 2025 prediction. We are going to get 4 first-party games released in 2025 from Xbox. They are going to successfully hit that goal that Todd was referencing earlier. And we are going to get a Game of the Year nomination for an Xbox Game Studio game, Xbox first party, and bonus bet. We might get a secret 5th release in there.
You kind of COD.
I like it.
COD, absolutely. Okay.
As part of the 4?
As part of the 4, yes.
Okay. So fifth game will happen. Okay.
Unannounced.
Unannounced?
Special
Okay.
release.
I know Nissa had said she would like a small mini game, like a Pentiment. Maybe that's in the cards.
Yeah.
Or a remaster. I don't know. Just saying.
I could see with like a remaster or like a smaller Pentiment style game, like I could see them hitting 5, even 6 games, like
Fallout.
realistically.
Fallout.
Let's not
New
get
Vegas.
crazy, guys. Let's just get that 4.
I could
Okay.
Five is a
I could see
bonus.
it.
5 is a
Okay.
Yeah, we don't
bonus.
want to give away we don't give away the cow.
Yeah.
We get the milk for free. Is that what they say?
I get
I
you,
don't
I get
know. Mark.
Yep. Mine's a little vague, but
That's how you win predictions, Mark.
I think worthwhile. I think we're going to see an announcement, not a release, an announcement of a brand new family-friendly IP. I think it's going to be new, so I can't even predict what it'll be or who is going to be behind it, but I think they have enough studios. They're seeing the success of Astrobot. They're seeing, Nintendo ramping up for new hardware and excitement around their franchises. I think Xbox is going to make that play for some sort of family-friendly, cutesy mascot IP that's not going to be super gritty, super violent, all that kind of stuff, and is going to be a little bit more Astrobot-esque. Not sure if it'll play into the nostalgia, although I think that would be a great play as well, some Xbox nostalgia. But I could see them leaning into the family-friendly stuff. They just purchased some fantastic studios who can handle that kind of stuff. I think give it to one of them and make something fun.
Excellent. Vague is the way you win, Mark. Vague. Keep it vague. Okay,
this is going to be Xbox's bloodiest year yet.
That's right. Yes. Over 40,000 people will be fired at Microsoft. Yes. All right. I'm saying an Xbox handheld will be revealed at the Game Awards, just like the Series X was. Not released.
That's bold, Todd. I don't know about that.
Okay, Xbox is making it first party developed. This is not a partnership with Lenovo or something.
This will be their handheld device
flagship.
It will
Okay,
be shown, and maybe they open it up and show you the landscape of it, like they showed Series X, and then they will show their titles running natively, like Halo or something like that. Just kind of montage, I think would be great, and reveal it there. And then it can launch in 2026 at a later date, because they said it's years away. So at that point, that would be years away. 2 is years away, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. I like it.
I'm saying a new Elite controller shown with better haptics, and it's going to have Design Lab day and date.
Wow.
Nice. I need my Series 3. I've been using the Scuff Instinct Pro, and as much as I like it, I still think the Elite is the superior controller, and it just screams quality every time I hold it. Haven't had any bumper issues, Todd, before you say anything, so I'm one of the lucky ones.
Yep.
But I do want that Series S slight tweaks in the design, and I need that share button. I hate.
That was so weird when they launched the Elite Series. I'm like, you couldn't have waited on that one until the Series jump. But oh well. But I think Design Lab day and date is nice, because I always hate it. Here's the one version you can get, and then it's 6 months later. Oh, here's all the awesome stuff you can get. I'm like, oh, now I have to double dip.
I'm hoping that's why we've seen so many options with the Design Lab for this series or the Elite 2, is because they're still trying to get rid of the pieces they made for the old controllers. That's what I'm telling myself that at least.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm going in a different direction this time. I'm going to a new Double Fine game revealed.
How many predictions?
What the hell, dude?
Mark? What are you doing?
I'm trying to get points. I'm trying to get points. You could make as many as you want.
You could just throw off as many, and then you get.
I thought this was one each, like we did last year.
One each? Oh, you don't want my wisdom? I'm giving these away for free, gentlemen. I say new Double Fine games being revealed. It's new IP. It's coming in 2026. It's been Psychonauts 2 came out in 2021, so it's time for Timmy Schafer to come out there. And I was inspired by the Lego talk, and I said Xbox is going to get a Lego game.
You know what? Lego Gears of War would absolutely slap.
Oh, Halo! Remember that Mega Bloks game that was supposed to be on the 3DS or whatever it was? Okay. Oh, wait. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, Mark, unless you clarify the rules, they are meant to be broken.
All right.
Okay, Dan.
Is it my turn?
Yes, it's your time for Nintendo.
Well, you said Mark. You said Mark.
Oh,
we're Nintendo. It's not PlayStation?
Yeah.
Okay, Nintendo. Here's my prediction for Nintendo in 2025. The Switch 2 will launch at $399 US. I'm afraid to go any higher than that.
What's that in Canadian dollars, Mark?
I got to remortgage my house.
Okay.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I almost wanted to say 450, but I think that's just actually, you know what? I changed it. Do I go 450, you guys? Because
I don't think they're going 450. I think you were right.
Really? I think
you saved the 450 for the OLED.
But isn't the original Switch still technically 350 right
No.
now?
The original was $299. The OLED 350. They went $50 up.
Yeah,
okay.
And then the light
I'll
was
stick with the
$200.
$399, even though I won't be shocked if it's higher. And I was checking Steam Deck prices. You know, so I'm like, for the technology, we'll see. It's going to launch. Who said more? Who said Mario Kart 9, 10? Is it? Are we on? Did we skip 9? Was there a 9?
Well, there's 9. That's what's up.
8 is on the Switch. 9 is the mobile version. Apparently,
Oh,
that's what they
okay.
officially are calling it. The 9th version.
I
Is the
didn't
mobile
know
version.
that.
Yeah.
It's time for a new Mario Kart game. Am I right,
Oh,
you guys?
hell
We've had this
absolutely.
Wii
So
U.
Can
Can we get a new Mario Kart game with the launch of the Switch 2? And I also said Metroid Prime 4 comes out. I'm debating do they have the balls to bring out a new 3D Mario platformer? I don't know. I don't know if I want to commit to that. I feel like
Are these launch
Mario Kart-
titles, Dan?
I think
Or
Mario
these
Kart 9
launch
has to
year?
be a launch title, and I think
Okay.
Metroid Prime 4. I don't see why it wouldn't be a launch title at this point. And I think Metroid Prime, like Mark was saying, can absolutely come out on the Switch as well. But they're holding it for some dumb reason. I don't know. It'll be like the Zelda when whatever that was.
Yeah.
Came out on both.
Twilight
systems.
Princess and Breath of the Wild.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
Both did
that's
the
my
double dip.
Nintendo.
The
I
dream
went with the
couple.
price.
And the 2 launch titles.
And maybe Mario. What did Mario Odyssey come out the year of the Switch launch?
It did fall though. It was our holiday title.
With Breath of the Wild, right? Or was Breath of the Wild?
Well, Breath of the Wild was
Breath of the
launch.
Wild was first, and then so that was like spring, and then in the fall they released Mario Odyssey. So
Kart, I
my
believe it-
prediction, Todd, I'm
Launch-
doing it on the fly. We're either getting Mario Kart 9 or a new Mario with the Switch in the launch year,
Okay.
along with Metroid Prime 4.
Oh, in the launch year, because I was going to say
Yes.
for actual launch, I don't think you should doubt yourself because we just got Wonder, and I think they can rest
2
on
years
that
ago?
for a little bit. Wonder was this year, wasn't it?
No, that was 2023.
2023.
For real?
Yes.
Shit, I played a ton of that game this year.
Mark.
What is
Mark.
time? All right, fine.
child
Maybe
brain.
maybe you're onto something there.
Okay, Dan, I'm going to
yeah.
ask you one more hard question. When is it launching?
Oh, same time. March, whenever the Switch,
March 3rd?
whenever the Switch launched.
It was like
that
March
same
3rd. It was like the beginning of March.
2025. Get this thing out already, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Mark?
My prediction: Wind Waker 4K is a launch title.
4K, Mark? Are you sure?
Wind Waker.
4K.
Well, I don't want to call it HD because I think it's going to play in 4K on a TV. So I think they're going to use that
30
branding.
frames per second.
I think the handheld itself is going to be 1080p, but I think it's going to be able to push out some 4K. I don't know if they'll brand it 4K or they'll just call it something, but we already had Wind Waker HD on the Wii U, so they have to do
Just bring it, please. Anything.
something. Yeah. And I think we're going to see that as kind of that launch title. I don't think the only way I could see them releasing it as HD is if they bundled it with Twilight Princess and said, here's the games that we're missing, the Zelda games that we're missing on Switch. Here they are as a bundle for Switch 2. Please enjoy them. They look great. They play great. And then here's some fancy other shit, including Mario Kart 10. I think you're
And they're
right
available
on with that
for
one.
3 months, and then they go away, and you can never buy them again.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. Now who's cynical? You and Luke.
Yes.
I really do think that now that you said that 2023, that's really got me thinking about a Mario game. And because Wonder was 2D, I think we could see a 3D Mario game. I will specify 3D Mario game
Yeah, that's what I was
within this
saying.
launch window. Okay, all right,
Are
cool.
you
cool.
thinking more like Odyssey or like 3D?
Yeah, like an Odyssey
world?
proper sequel.
No, yeah. Odyssey style, full on 3D. I'm not saying isometric. I'm not saying 2D, 3D graphic. I'm saying straight up Mario Odyssey style, 64 style. Spin a camera around. Let's go have some fun in an open world. I don't think it's going to be Odyssey 2. I think they'll just move on to whatever the next thing is. But I think specifically, I'm calling a Mario full 3D game for the launch window, maybe not launch, although that would be a smart way to launch a system. But I think launch window makes more sense.
Okay. Anything else, Mark?
Wave Race.
Always Wave Race.
Always.
Wave Race 99 coming back?
Nope, just a new Wave Race game.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, for me, Switch 2, $400, launches in May. Features ability to cast the screen when you're holding it to the dock, like Wii U.
Ooh, okay.
So basically, the dock
We
is
got some
connected to the
dual screen.
TV.
Oh,
That C
shit,
button
yeah.
is cast. It goes there, so you can use your second screen as like a map or something like that.
You're insane, man.
So okay, is it a dock?
It requires the dock connected to a TV to cast the screen.
But no, what I'm asking does it dock? Like, can you put this device into the dock to have it, or do you
it's
have
not
to?
wireless. No, it's not a wireless connection from the dock to the TV. It's just basically saying
No. Like, does the Switch, as the current Switch does, sit in the dock
Yes.
and then go to your TV?
Yep.
Can the Switch 2 do that? And are there benefits of like plugging it into the TV, then you lose the map screen, but is it more detailed? And then like if you have it in Wii U form, are there like pros and cons of like actually docking it, docking the console to the TV, or is there anything lost when you're streaming or anything, or should you always play in Wii U mode?
I'm just thinking it's a way to basically play around with the asymmetric gameplay like the Wii U tried to. It just makes it easy, and then you don't have to worry about toilet time. So there you go. Gives you that option to play with something different. Maybe allows those games that had Wii U attachments to actually work on your Switch too. Don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. 3D Mario game coming holiday 2025, and this is going to be funny.
Todd's confident, man.
I said there's going to be no Switch 2 exclusives for a year. But Switch 2 games, the Switch 2 version, will be higher res and higher frame rate.
I think you're right.
Very few exclusive games have been coming out for launches lately. And I think this is the first time where Switch, they can't get away with saying, well, we're starting over from scratch. So this could be a situation where kind of like the Zelda games, Zelda games, there's always been one on the Wii, and then it was on GameCube. I think they'll do that, but they'll basically, they don't want to give up on those 150, 40 million sales, but basically you get a better experience. So that's what I'm feeling. And then year 2, maybe we get some exclusives to finally get those slackers to come on over.
For the enhanced version, can you buy one that's labeled Switch 2? And let's say that they do a DS to 3DS little notch on the cart. Are you saying you can buy an enhanced version that only runs on the Switch 2, but simultaneous released, you could buy a Switch version that will also play on Switch 2, just it looks like the Switch version?
I think it's going to be like the Xbox Series, where first year it was one package that said it does it on both.
X and 1.
Same cart, Switch 2, work there. And then when they truly do have Switch 2 exclusive games, the box will be completely different, will be a different color, will be something else, and have a new notch that doesn't work.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah.
All right. Let's get into PlayStation, Dan's favorite platform and controller.
Oh. Why does this space exist here, you guys?
Thank you, Dan.
It's the biggest button in the world. No!
Yes. I love you, Dan.
Symmetrical sticks. Good God. I
hurt my heart.
I recently tried the Envision, which is like the scuffed PC version, which is just a slightly different PS5 controller.
Yep.
The symmetrical sticks.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Makes my hand
hate them.
It's just terrible. It's
I hate them.
There's a reason. If
you guys are babies incapable of doing things with your fingers.
PlayStation.
Listen, I can play it. I just don't like to play it. It's like an N64 controller. I can use it. I just don't like it. It's stupid. Why does it still exist when the Xbox controller has perfected controllers?
Look where your thumbs naturally go. Why are the face buttons
you're
up
asking
here?
me that, and
Why are the face buttons up here and not down here?
Have you looked at the Joy-Cons? Your thumbs don't move up and down naturally. They move side to side.
I think the Joy-Cons suck too.
Yeah, the Joy-Cons aren't great. No one's saying they are. But the sticks are in the right place.
8-bit do controller.
You're doing your
Oh,
same
go.
thing, whether the
Sticks.
sticks are down here or up here. It's the same thing. Same thing.
Set.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Fantastic.
moving on. Sony. My prediction is that Sony finally announces something exciting, maybe that's not a remake or a remaster.
Well, they did announce a
This
new
is my
IP at
serious
TGA.
Sony prediction.
Yeah.
Sony
No, that's legit.
is going to have a state of play, a real state of play for once in their lives, and actually announce something new and exciting that isn't a remake or a remaster. And we remember why we enjoy PlayStation, the PS1 good old days. Okay, that's my serious prediction. And then
You didn't like Intergalactic?
again, that wasn't at a Sony state of play, and that's years and years out. So I don't believe that.
How
I don't
about
believe that's gonna-
PlayStation Showcase? Because state of play suck. I don't like.
Okay,
those.
sorry. PlayStation Showcase. That's
Showcases
what I
are
meant.
the big,
Sorry.
big
That's
game,
what I
yeah.
meant. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
not a state of play.
At a
Showcase.
showcase. I agree.
I said maybe
showcases need to happen.
in addition to the we're getting Ghost of Yote. Do we see the Spider-Man Venom spinoff or Wolverine? I'm going to say one of those.
Oh, I think
The
we're
new-
seeing Wolverine
new
this year.
You
Insomniac,
think Wolverine? I don't want to
Marvel
commit
game?
to it, so I'm going to say
I don't think.
one of those.
I don't think
another
it's
Marvel
being
game.
released. I think we're seeing gameplay finally.
I like that. I like that.
I'm gonna
Not
say Venom
a chance it's releasing this
or-
year.
Wolverine shown.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Wait, Dan, you're
Dan's
muted.
Oh, sorry.
muted.
I wouldn't. So for
Yeah.
sure, I said I wouldn't be surprised if the Spider-Man, if we get some sort of Spider-Man release. Didn't that? When did that come out? Spider-Man 2, 2020.
2023
It was 2023.
was 2023.
What was? I'll come back to that. Go ahead.
God of War was 2022. 2021 was Horizon.
Depending on how big it is, I could see some Spider-Man Venom, maybe like surprise
I'm thinking,
release
what was the
before the end
space
of the
between
year.
Miles Morales and Spider-Man 1?
Yeah.
Spider-Man 1 was 2018.
And then
And
Miles
then
2020.
Miles was 2020, and then Spider-Man was 2 is 2022.
You're right on.
There you go.
I think
Yeah,
you're in that
timeline
pathway of,
makes sense for sure.
And Venom could be like more like a Miles size,
Yeah.
where it's like $40 and
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it is that, I could see it being announced and released this year for sure. That wasn't one of my predictions, so I'll give that one to Dan, but I'm backing you up on that one, bud. My prediction is a Jack and Daxter soft reboot.
thank you.
Not a remaster, not a re-release, none of that bullshit. This is a new game, soft reboot. So you don't have to play all the extras, all the old stuff in the series. You can start here if you want to, but fans of the series will love little nods, little winks to past games.
Kind of like the Ratchet and Clank, where they basically said we're starting it over, but it's like new tech.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I love that.
And I think Jack and Daxter is like one of those PlayStation things that, again, like Dan said, go back to the good old days. PS2. I know it's not happening, but I want it to, so I'm going to put it out there.
Even PS fanboy Todd agrees. What happened to the Sony we loved?
I agree.
Minus Astrobot.
I agree.
Yeah. But I will think, I do think also we will see, but one of my predictions was we'll see gameplay of Wolverine, not just a from behind CGI trailer. I think we will actually see some gameplay this year, not a release, but I wasn't thinking about Spider-Man Venom, but now that Dan brought that up, I think that's going to be shown and released this year. It's going to be one of those quick little like show it off in the summer, release it for the fall, $40 Miles Morales style showcase kind of thing. I think that's a super smart prediction. But
Astrobot did get that treatment, shown and released same year.
Yeah,
So I hope
no,
we get
exactly.
one of those.
Yeah, there's precedent for it.
Yeah, and I wish Xbox would do that too from now on.
Oh yeah.
To be fair, actually, everybody.
Just everyone. Blanket statement. Stop showing games off 7 years early and just show them off, release them.
Short windows.
Call it a day. Yeah.
Let's do it. Short windows. Okay, for me, Wolverine trailer shown, but it's coming in 2026 in the spring. So I hate that, but I've got to be honest. I don't know, especially if we're going to get like that Venom game, which could ridiculously happen. Could happen. And that, Insomniac had the horrible like breach that kind of, so they may be like, Let's do something different to surprise them that people didn't know about. I don't know. This is my big surprise, though. The Iron Man game from EA and Motive is going to be shown at the Sony Showcase. And
I forgot that existed.
I did too. I like, when did that game get announced? It was 2022. So I'm like, it's time.
22. Wow, shit, yeah. Okay.
It's time. Yeah. So that's
Forgot
what
that
I'm
was
showing.
a thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Third party / PC. Dan.
Yep.
Could be hardware, games, whatever you would like.
Third party. This one, I'm not going to lie, I struggled with, and I just stole from Todd when he said, a new Resident Evil game. Grand Theft Auto 5 on Switch 2. COD 2025 on Switch 2.
Yep.
And this is the real one I thought of that I didn't steal. And I'm struggling with it. Grand Theft Auto 6 does make it this year.
I'm wondering why everybody thinks it can't.
Do you guys think it's going to happen, Todd? I don't know about that.
I think so.
I'm afraid for that one. I'm going to be honest.
No, I think it drops this year.
I just don't know.
I think it drops late.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think it's like a December release, and everyone's like, "Why the hell wouldn't you release this in November?" And I think it's like one of those like late holiday scramble kind of things. Like I think it's like dropping like December 10th to like one of the whatever the video game release day is.
Adults are buying this game,
December.
so it doesn't matter when it drops. Quite honestly, let's say this is my Christmas present to me.
Yeah.
Or Hanukkah Harry is giving me this game.
Yeah. When do new games come out? Like, what's the day of the week?
Tuesday, usually.
Tuesday? Wednesday. So this is a December 9th or 16th
Tuesday
drop.
Tuesday or Friday.
So it's not going to be part of the Game Awards, so it won't get judged. Not like care.
9th, 12th, 16th. I don't think they'll do it on the 19th.
I don't know. I think the opposite. I think if it's going to come out, it's going to make Game Awards nominations. Otherwise, it's going to get delayed into next year. I think it's either an October, November game. Pushed.
Red Dead Redemption 2 won Game of the Year on the Game Awards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I just don't understand what another 6 months buys this game at this point, considering it's still a year away. I don't know. It's been in development for they haven't made DLC for GTA 5. So I just feel like
I hope it
online mode. I'm not going to.
I feel like maybe I don't. And they could basically say GTA 5 is still around until it's ready, and they have essentially a second release, which gets more people into it, and they also have the PC release. So I feel like they could it's console only next gen, and it goes from there. This game is not coming to One and PS4, right? Okay.
Yeah, God,
nothing's holding back. No. Okay, I like that. So Dan has new RE game. Just shown or released?
Shown for sure.
Shown. Okay. GTA 5 on Switch, COD on Switch 2, GTA 6. When we say COD, are we just assuming the next release, or would we get COD Blob 6?
The next release, mainline Call of Duty game is coming out on the Switch too.
Okay, sounds good.
As per the 10-year agreement signed by Microsoft and Nintendo, that further pushed the Blizzard Activision King acquisition by Microsoft.
Also known as the Armistice of 2023. Mark! Here we go. Wrapping it up.
I'm going to say the current Black Ops 6 is a Switch 2 launch title. If Switch 2 launches before the fall. If it launches, if Switch 2 is announced in March or whenever they have to announce it by the end of this quarter or whatever, and they're like, it's a holiday 2025
runs on
release.
Xbox One and PS4, so why not?
Yeah. I think, but I agree with Dan. I think Switch is launching, this spring, maybe this fall, maybe May or whatever. You said May, right, Todd?
Yes.
If it's launching then, it's launching day of Blop 6 is launching with it.
Wait, I have to say on the release date, didn't we see recent Joy-Con pictures just recently?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
This thing's coming out in March, Todd. I got your ass on that one. I better get that.
Yeah.
I got you to mark down March.
There you go. I think so. Aside from that, I think my other prediction is VR really, really takes off this year. I have seen so many people that because you can integrate the Quest profile with like your social media and stuff. Holy crap! I've gotten a lot of friend requests since Christmas.
Yep.
Like Jesus, every day, man. There's like something new. Like I just got one today. I forget who just added me on Meta or whatever it is. I legitimately think it's just going to keep going, and we're going to see that success of Batman. Like we're going to see some other AAA like banger quality stuff, and VR is going to like really just become that other console kind of thing. I think the Xbox partnership is going to really help that of like, hey, Game Pass is great on Quest. Here's like that, like you said, Dan, like it's a green and black Quest 3. Who gives a shit? You get 3 months of Game Pass with it for free, and it's great. And I think, but I think that bundle could also come with an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
I think that's the big kicker too, right? Like I think it's going to be Xbox branded. It's going to come with that controller and the Move controllers, Game Pass. Like it's going to be a cool bundle, right? And I think VR, looking at the success of like Christmas time 2024, I think 2025 is going to just keep that momentum going.
I love it. I love it. I've always thought that Xbox and Quest could be close friends.
Oh, hell yeah.
And basically do a Oculus link to the Xbox and play Xbox games and just with a controller. I would love to see that. Don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll see.
Well, I think I think they're getting rid of the need for that with stream your own games. Like I think it could be. I think Xbox is just saying like screw tethering in any way possible.
Well, I mean, that's if you just want like more of like you want to use the hardware for a better experience. And if you got those games there and you don't want to buy games, you just want to play the games in your library versus it's got to be on Game Pass or something like that. I think that's a cool option, just like Quest VR on PC, which is nice.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Use the power of the box. But I agree, Mark. I think it could be an amazing year as long as it gets a lot of support. So for me, wrapping up third party on PC, Witcher 1 remake shown at the Xbox showcase will be coming out before The Witcher 4.
Nifty. I like it.
And this is my favorite Ubisoft announcement because I hope it happens. Beyond Good and Evil 2 re-revealed, but it's a direct sequel with support from the Phoenix. What was that game, Mark? The Phoenix Monsters Unleashed. Gods Among Us.
Shoot, what was that called?
The game we loved that didn't get a sequel.
It was Gods and Monsters, and now it's
Phoenix. It basically it's the very cute, adorable Assassin's Creed / open world Breath of the Wild like game, which we loved.
Yeah.
Immortals
Phoenix Rising.
There you go. I would love it if those team members went over to Beyond Good and Evil 2 and just said, stop with all this stupid crap. We're just making a really fun game that is the sequel to Beyond Good and Evil 2, Beyond Good and Evil. All that stuff's going on. It's just ridiculous. And Ubisoft hasn't killed the game, so they must think something there. So they just got to get this game out and make some money. Kind of like Skull and Bones. That game finally came out because they had to release it. Yeah. So that is my last prediction. So folks, I hope everyone enjoyed 2024. I know we did. We'll be talking about our best of 2024 on the couchies on when we record on 120 mark. But you know what? We're excited for 2025. And with that, we're very excited because we were joined by a certain man from Colorado, proud of his teams, proud of his family, proud of his podcast, The Nerd Chat. Dan, thank you so much for joining us. Tell people where they can find you.
Guys, thank you for having me. Always a pleasure to join you too. This has been a blast. I can't wait to be back. You are both welcome. Mark, we need to get you on the Nerd Chat. Todd, we have to get both of you on at the same time. Just a fantastic time. Thank you guys for having me. I have nothing else really to say. You guys are great.
Follow the Nerd Chat on all the socials. join their Discord, watch their podcast. I watch it every Thursday. It's streamed live.
Number one intern, Todd Oxtra.
Absolutely. It's video games. I'm going to butcher
Gaming,
this.
food, and the good old days.
Good old days. Absolutely.
yeah.
So they appreciate a good
We might be
fast
rebranding,
food.
by the way. We don't know yet.
I was going to say that.
Bacon keeps telling us we need to be a PC podcast now because we all want I don't know. We'll talk about that.
We'll see what happens in 2025. Anything can happen. But follow them. They're amazing. An awesome team. I will actually be having members of the Nerd Chat on Friday to talk about fantasy football on the waiver wire wizards. Chipotle Bear and Bubble
Is it
Boy
the
will be
season
joining
over,
me.
Todd?
It is not. We are in the playoffs, Dan, and also Eric, Mark's neighbor.
Oh,
will be
that's
joining.
right. Some leagues go in all the way to the Super Bowl. I
That
forgot.
is right. And we're going to have a fun fantasy football playoff game as well with my
Oh
buddy
my gosh.
Sean Nias. It's going to be great. I cannot wait. So thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Tell people where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram mostly, but everywhere else, Blue Sky and TikTok and all that shenanigans as Canardian_Jedi, except Blue Sky is a dash instead of an underscore, because why wouldn't they have underscores?
You know what? It's all variations on very similar topics. You can follow me at Todd Oxtra, at Secret Friends Unite with dots on the Blue Sky. You can follow me at T Oxtra, at Secret Friends Unite on the threads. Check out our Discord, check out our YouTube, check out our Patreon. We love you all. And remember, folks, it's always better to play together.
This podcast is part of the Secret Friends Unite podcasting network, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and podcast services around the galaxy, as well as video on our YouTube channel. You can support Secret Friends Unite by becoming a Patreon member, get bonus programs and more over at patreon.com/secretfriendsunite. Join our Discord community for even more discussions on all things geek. For all the latest updates on Secret Friends Unite, make sure to follow us on threads at secret.friends.unite and visit secretfriendsunite.com. Find our merchandise at TeePublic and Redbubble. Thanks for listening, and may the Force live long and prosper.